Hello there. In this video, I'll be going over how to make your own auto item sorter. So pretty much, if you don't know what an item sorter is, basically I'll show you. So basically, all you gotta do is get whatever item you want, chuck it in here, and then it'll sort it for you. So as a demonstration, I'll grab a few random items. I'm gonna grab hollow woods. Some cauldrons, I guess. I'll lock these. Big candle. Alright. Basically, you have a ton of these items. Oh no, they're all mixed up. Let me chuck them in here now. And pretty much, this will just sort them for me. You let them go. And then you'll see, once they reach a certain point where they can sort, they vanish. If they miss, come back around and it'll sort again. So eventually they'll get sorted into the storage drawers, and then you have sorted items. So this is not hard at all to make. It's very easy. You can also use alignment conveyors here instead to help align your items better. But pretty much all you gotta do from here on is just like buy poppers and then just open them all up here, and you'll have all sorted items, and it's probably the fastest way you can like get a lot of items in the game. So before we start building, let's see what items we need. So the first thing you're gonna do is get in your car and then go to Oak Depot. Oak Depot's in the very center of the map, I believe. It's just right here. And then you're gonna want to buy basically as many conveyors as you want to be. Like, it can be as big as you want, as small as you want. However, I recommend you buy like, I don't know, like 10. And then for corner conveyors, you're only going to need about 4 if you want a circle. If you want to do an S, it's going to require a lot more. However, I recommend 4. And you just take those and you buy them. But you're also going to need a storage drawer, not a micro storage drawer. You need a storage drawer. If you don't know what's at, it's over here at the lighthouse. Lighthouse is from Oak Depot. You follow this path all the way over there. This is probably the most costly part of the entire thing. I've spent over like 2 million on my storage drawers, so I'd be prepared to pay a ton of money for this. However, if you want to have a nice sorted items, it's worth it. Trust me. And then storage drawers are right here. This giant green box. There is a lot of items in the game, so you'll probably need like 15 of them or 16, however many you want. And then you just buy those and then head back to your base. And we can build. Alright, so you take your conveyors and your conveyors, go over here, and pretty much just build. So I would keep it at around I can go 8. I'll go 8. Bring it to about 8, and then just big. And then for the hopper part, it's pretty easy. You just gotta use borderless conveyors. These are all found in what is it called? All these conveyors are found in Oak Depot, so they're very easy to find. You pretty much you just build a giant hopper. And then try and align all these properly. You can lower your increments and just align the corners right there, like so. Take this one. Boom. And then you just kind of copy and paste this conveyor over here. Make it smaller because a little bit tinier. Paste it there. Paste it there. Alright, and boom, there's your hopper. So then it'll probably not line up properly like this. It'll do this thing. So you gotta make sure you adjust that so it feeds in properly. Same with that one. And then from here on out, you basically just make a giant circle. For purposes, I'm going to make it small because I already have my own. I don't really need a second one. And then you want to grab a corner conveyor. Basically just do the same thing here. Make sure it's 8 on both sides. Make sure it's the other way. And then just continue doing this. Okay, and then while you're here, you can either buy one of those tilde conveyors, or you can just make it yourself. Basically, all you gotta do is just do a 5.625 degree shift up, and then move it up, along with all these ones too. Make sure that they line up properly over here. It can be a little higher too, and just drop off, like so. However, it's not turned properly, so I gotta do that quick. Bingo. And then pretty much just continue your work. You can make this one go up a little higher if you need to as well. Basically, all you want to do is make it so it's above this one, so that it completes a circle and continues to feed in and then just store all the items out for you. I feel that it's the best when you don't have as many turns, so make a giant S. It will work, however, you might lose some items, so I recommend making a wall too for your corners and stuff. I'm going to tilt mine up. And then add another. Make sure it's down a little further too. Alright, and then from here, you just add another one of these corner conveyors. And then the final part is just to connect it. So you make it want to like feed into this one right here. So now you do this. Should go all the way around and then make it so you go all the way in here. However, I cannot do that apparently. And there you go. Circle. So that part is the easy part. It's just a giant circle. You can make it as long as you want, as short as you want. Depending on how many items you want. I have so many items over here, so I made it giant almost. And then for these corners, like I said, you can make a simple little wall like this. You can just make it tiny. And then add up like that. This is a 45-degree turn right here. So you go to 45. Turn it. Line up to the best you can. Doesn't really matter, it's not like a cosmetic. And then same thing on this side, you just follow that. I recommend doing this on all the sides of this corners at, or if you just want to have walls around the entire thing, that'll work too. Basically all this does is help prevent items from falling out before being sorted. So yeah. And then from here, you're going to want to buy a ton of storage drawers. Yes, it costs a ton of money. However, you need storage drawers, not the micro storage drawers, because those ones will not work for this. So, you're going to want to get select region tool right here, the instant build, the very last one except for expand property, and just select the entire thing. Go up and down. Select it all. And then you can go up as much as you want, how high or however low you want to go. Basically giving yourself enough room from the top and the bottom to dispense items or put items in if you need to. And then you can either add a ramp like I did over here, or you can just jump up there. And then from here, you're going to want to get your storage drawer. However, I don't think I have any. I'll just take you. And pretty much you're just going to want to put your item as long, like you got to follow the distance of this. So basically as long as you can make it. Like so. And then this is the hard part. is getting it lined up with this. As you see, it sticks through. If you do that, the item will just get stuck here. So you're going to want to go into the smallest you can, which is 0.1. Select it, and then make it so that it gets stuck in the thing, so it's barely peeking out. I believe that'll work. No. Up one. There you go. So it does this little glitch effect. And pretty much any item that gets thrown in there will go over that. But if it's the item, like the hollowed oak right here, it will get stuck in there. And basically all you gotta do is on all of these straight parts, just keep adding them there, and pretty much it'll sort all your items out for you. And that's probably the easiest way you can make this. So if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. I will make more videos on how to do this type of stuff more often. And yeah, adios.